Yeah, I think I'm recutting the whole vocal.
Fudge.
I have a lot of bad habits as a creator. One of my worst is a tendency to get really excited when I'm beginning a project or in moments when I feel like I have a lot of momentum, and to let that excitement spill over into hasty or haphazard decisions. And sometimes it can be difficult, even frustrating for me to slow down and actually think about, is this going the way I want? Is this something that I'm going to be happy living with in the long run? That explains in part why this is my third attempt to shoot this video. I have been acting stupid after much pissing around. And it also explains the basic narrative of the first section of recording that I've done for my current project, a song called Millennial Dreams. My plan for the first stage was to record a core track around which the rest of my recording could be built. I started by cutting acoustic guitar. It's a beat-up old instrument with a set of extraordinarily dead strings, but it did the job. And using two microphones, an SM57 and a realistic, aka RadioShack branded PZM microphone, I was able to capture a sound that I thought was really good. It sounded like an acoustic guitar is supposed to sound in my head, which is sort of a rare thing. I was so excited about the success that I had with that miking that I kind of felt the momentum building and decided, all right, let's move on to the next thing. Let's cut a lead vocal. I switched out to another dynamic mic, but otherwise planned to use basically the same setup to record that lead vocal. Because of track limitations, I ended up having to blend the sound of two microphones into one mono track when recording that vocal. That's something that I could have avoided by planning, but you know, that's not what I do. So I just did a little bit of experimentation with mic placement. When I wipe away the sleep, could I make this face? And then I cut a vocal. Somebody wake me, 'cause I'm too deep. I listened back after the first take and I was really happy with the result. That shows the things I'm supposed to be. I was confident that that was a vocal that I was going to be able to live with, and excited to move on to the rest of the project. Foreshadowing. I reoriented the microphones slightly. It's actually a really nice little situation I've constructed next to my pile of trash. I got these old speaker stands from my dad. It creates a nice little like platform for one mic to go here, you know, like sort of level with the cajon, and then I got the PZM. And recorded a cajon track, just sort of trying to create something that sounded a little bit like a kick drum. I forgot to record footage of that, sorry. And at that point, 4 tracks were full, and I told myself that I was done with that stage of the project. I listened back to what I had created, and I smiled. I felt pretty good about what I had done. Somebody wake me, 'cause I'm too deep. And I listened back again and I felt okay about what I had done. After one more playback, I decided that I needed to take a break. Something was bothering me, and after more reflection, it became obvious that the thing was the vocal. It had predictable first take problems, like having a dynamic range that was kind of out of control, but it also had a bunch of errors that shouldn't have been there. Like I was holding a lyric sheet. I should have been able to execute the lyrics. I thought, well, I'm going to make the most out of this. I'll go back and just like punch in and do some overdubs of the parts that I had initially done incorrectly, and this is all going to be fine. And in fact, I'll even use it as an opportunity for creativity, and instead of using or trying to recreate that original miking arrangement, I'll use a completely different sound using a completely different and strange mic. This is a telephone, but it's also a microphone made by a company called Loophole Pedals. I plugged in, set the levels, and recorded a couple of tracks. Somebody wake me, 'cause I'm too deep. And a funny thing happened. The overdubs using that new mic totally ruined my song, because by comparison, they made that original vocal sound unbelievably bland. Finally, I admitted defeat. Yeah, I think I'm recutting the whole vocal. Fuck! It's not what I wanted to do at this stage in the game, and yet, here we are. All right, I'm just gonna do this. Of course, easier said than done. I did not get it in one take. It took many takes. It's getting darker, but I can't seem. I mean, it's better. It's better. but I ended up with something that I thought was going to sound good. And when I listened to it in a mix,
at night I see you, but I can't hear you say my name. How long until I am awake? Somebody wake me, 'cause I'm too deep.
I thought it did really sound good, or at least interesting. I found it easy to imagine a song being built around that sound because it was so flavorful. It's not a flavor that everybody's going to like, but I really like it, and I'm excited to use it sort of as inspiration for everything else that I record. Instead of trying to achieve a sound that I think is just a good or nice sound, maybe I'm going to try to focus more on choosing interesting sounds that might feel like they're going to be out of place or clash or not be quite right, but that maybe in the aggregate, working together, are going to sound... It's dangerous to shoot for great, so I'll just say interesting or distinctive. In a last burst of excitement and momentum, I decided to go ahead and perform a bounce of those 4 tracks on the 424.
Wishing on a star in a cloudy sky, waiting for a train with no room inside.
Out to my digital Porta Studio, which gives me now 6 blank tracks that I can use to record whatever it is that I'm going to record. I hope that I can take a little bit of the momentum from this initial stage and some of the lessons that I've learned into that next stage of recording, and I guess I'll tell you about that in some future video when that shit has actually taken place. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for watching. As always, take care of yourself, and I'll see you around.
Somebody wake me, yeah. Somebody wake me, please. Somebody wake me from this millennial dream.